Hi, everyone. My name's Jennifer Cross, and I am here with Dixie Andelin Forsyth for a feminine moment. And we are taking some questions today off our closed Facebook group. So I just posted, hey, please let us know if you have questions for Dixie. And one came up, or two came up, that were sort of along the same line. So the first one is, I'd love some advice on how to maintain an inner sense of feminine calm and presence while having a stressful outer life. I'm currently working a 90-hour week and often find myself darting around with no sense of feminine grace or calm. I have started meditating and find that helps, but any other tips would be appreciated.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
It sounds really heavy. I mean, 90 hours a week, that's a lot. Sounds like a mother with a newborn baby. Or with several small children. And, yeah, because some of us experience things like that. There's probably a number of answers to that. I found that having a core of spirituality is really important, and by that I don't mean that it's necessarily religious, but it's kind of meditating is a good idea. It's always a good idea. Yoga is really good. It's really calming. But finding a balance between what is your purpose in life? It's those big questions that everybody has, because we come in and we think, how did I get here? Where am I going? Mm-hmm. And those kind of spirituality is really important, because in the end, our work is our work, and we're here temporarily, and then what happens? One of the things that, as I thought about this question, that came to mind was something Bob found. It was a Harvard study, and we may have mentioned this before. It was a 75-year-long Harvard study, and that's one of the longest continual studies that's probably ever been done on human beings. And they followed these same people for 75 years, so basically their whole life.
Wow.
And their purpose was to find out what, at the end of people's lives, was truly important. And they thought, is it having a successful career? Is it having a lot of money? What is it? And they were surprised in the end that the answer was meaningful relations. The quality of their relationships was the most important thing, which has nothing to do with your business career or any of those kind of things. So that's why an inner peace comes from knowing who you are and what your purpose is. If it was, if your job, like 80, 90 hours a week, to me, you'd have the best sense of inner calm if you are constantly focused on, in that job, whatever it is, that you make a dent in helping people in some way. And if you are
what about a busy mom who has to work and also take care of kids and home? Balancing that.
How do you find about? Well, raising children is one of the most important things anyone can do, because it's a future generation. These are human beings, and the more positive influence you can have on them, the better the chance they'll have at life. Where once they grow up and go out there, it's kind of a tough world. People aren't always nice, and so you can have a deep sense of fulfillment in raising children. And when you have to work, it's like, I know Bob says every day he goes out, he tries to see, his goal is to see if he can help someone in some way. And then he feels good at the end of the day, do his best. Now he's a neuropsychologist. With his patients, he doesn't see them regularly. He does evaluations. And then that's it. He doesn't see that person again unless they need another evaluation a year or 2 years from now, whatever. But when his goal is to every day to be of some benefit, even though he gets paid for it, for the people that he's serving and working for, whether it's you're an attorney and you're trying to serve your state or your country and trying to find justice, or whether you're a physician, or whether you do something like your house cleaning, you're a living, you're cleaning other people's houses. You do the best you can, and your goal is not to just make the money for that day, but to find a way to serve others, and your goal is to do a good job in serving others, that'll give you a sense of peace too, along with self-care, meditating. The woman who wrote, she works 90 hours a week, I have a feeling self-care is probably a little bit on the short list.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to spend an entire day with self-care, but if you can even take time to paint your nails or take a bubble bath or, I don't know, eat something chocolate if you like.
Yeah, oh, I like that one. But the gist is really inner serenity, inner calm comes from just a kind of a decision to take care of yourself.
It's a way you live your life. I don't think it's how many hours you work. Because some people, I think Mother Teresa worked an insane amount of hours, but I think she also had a sense of peace. Because of her spiritual base, and I'm not talking religion there, because you can be religious and not spiritual at all, but your spiritual base and your knowledge of knowing you're trying to help other people. Mm-hmm. And if you have that, your goal is to see what you can do today to make someone's life, or something like in the case of an attorney, more justice for all the people who may have suffered because of another person's behavior, or your colleagues, validating them. There's always a way to feel like you're more of looking for a way to be a benefit in this life.
Well, and they want to know how they can be more feminine, because they feel like, we get this a lot from women, that they feel like they're losing their femininity because they are so stressed. So how can we reclaim the femininity and still live a stressful life?
Go back to the beginning. In this world, you're either male or female. You lose your femininity, you don't cease to be female. What we do is we work on being in touch with how we're female. Femininity is who we are.
Yeah.
It's who we are. Now we can lose some of that charm, but we can always reclaim it. And the same, it isn't because you're working hard that you lose it. It's because you lose focus. What I do, and I tell people, and it's so simple, and I don't understand why more haven't discovered it. Every day you get up and you look feminine.
Yep.
Now, that doesn't mean, maybe you have a job where you have to wear a uniform. You can make up for that by your makeup, hair, nails, and the way you walk, your mannerisms. You can always do that. Mm-hmm. And you can always feel feminine no matter what you do. Some jobs are more difficult than others. Mm-hmm. If you are an over-the-road truck driver, it's going to be harder than if you, I don't know, what's a job that is easier?
Like someone who does cosmetic sales is this way more feminine job than a truck driver.
Or my daughter that used to be a visual manager at a big clothing store. She, really nice women's clothes. That's not as hard for her because she's working in the feminine surrounding. It's a feminine surrounding. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or things like that. If you're a nurse, there's all kinds of things that women do. And in the world today, many of us find ourselves with careers outside the home. And it's more of a challenge than if you get to be at home. But you can still do it. Women are good at multitasking. That's one of the great things about us. We tend to be good at multitasking, but that doesn't mean we don't have to pay attention. It doesn't mean we don't have to work at it.
Right.
We can. Mm-hmm. And if you're working and have small children, that's one thing that feminism has gotten us is they said we can do it all, and by golly, now we have to. And sometimes it's very difficult to go backwards and to say, if I'm making several times what my husband makes, how do I go back to this other thing? It's tough.
Yeah.
And I can't say I know any one answer for everybody because I just think that's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
It's possible, but it's undoing something rather than never having done it in the first place. So, but that's why it's so fascinating. Womanhood is so important for women because we are the gatekeepers of civilization. And until we get this sorted out, some of us have to do it all, and we can do it. It's just not easy.
So let's talk about the fascinating girl. that you just put out. The updated and revised edition is now for sale on the shop page on the fascinatingwomanhood.com. So that's revised and edited by Dixie. And soon we'll have the companion workbook done.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
And classes to offer for younger women. And what would you say is the age group that book is appropriate for?
It's appropriate for anyone who's old enough to be interested in boys, which, I mean, for me, it was
13?
For me, it was more like 14, but it varies. Because when you're interested in boys, you can always use the part about femininity, how to looking feminine, understanding men. That's always valuable. And I didn't date till I was 16. I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah.
That's okay too, because I still need to develop those qualities and understanding feminine qualities. Anything, when a girl's interested in boys, if she's not interested, it'll be like, cooties, go away, you know?
Right.
But
okay. So it depends on the
time they're interested in boys until they're married. And I would say a woman who's been married can benefit probably more from Fascinating Womanhood. Because it just, I mean, you could read both, because how to date, how to attract a guy's attention, that's all on Fascinating Girl. You know, I just got a text, sorry.
That's all right. That's okay.
Yeah, so.
There's another one.
It's the same person. That's okay. That's
all right. This is real life. And
it's business too. It's Richard, and he's got some business things.
Ooh, well, get that. So we will let you go. Thank you for answering our questions, and everybody, please like, comment, and share. We are, part of you've started the pro-feminine movement, and if you would like to know more, please visit fascinatingwomanhood.com.
Yeah, just finishing that last point.
Yes.
Any age.
Any age.
Girl, especially
I like it.
Some women have never been married. Even if you have been married, it's not like it would be bad. So.
Okay. Thank you, Dixie.
Okay.
I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.